an
We
exact
are, we are
figure way
live.
back, because if
We are live. Oh, we are live. We're live. We're
all right,
live.
guys, welcome.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is enjoying the current state of the market. We saw BTC bounce yesterday evening after going down to about $84,000, and we saw some very exciting things which we're actually going to look at. Oh yeah, what do you think, Spencer? What do you think? What do you think is happening in the market right now?
Well, like we always know, the market is always very dynamic for us. So we've seen tokens go back to its support. Mostly, most alts, or a whole lot of alts, I won't say most alts, a whole lot of alts has actually gone back to that swinging spot. Now, for the past month, we've had swing opportunities, like a lot of swing opportunities come up. It's almost like every week we have chances to enter into our favorite swing tokens. So
As long as
this
you're
last
taking
dump,
profits.
right?
As long as you're
So
taking profits,
this
yeah.
last that's true. So this last retrace also gives us that opportunity. Now the thing here is from the part I'm looking at it from, we had a close for last month, which closed below the opening of the previous month. So this month is assumed that one of two things is going to, or we're expecting one of two things to happen. It's either we consolidate this month, or we get a good green candle this month, right? But
Yeah.
that's for the entire month, the opening and the closing, right? But if we get one of those good red candles this month, then it depends on where we close this month. We might be looking at being this whole thing being over, right? But if we get one of those good green candles, which we're expecting, but then my skepticism is that it's a festive month, right?
Yeah.
And the previous years, first festive month of December is always characterized with uh, lower kind of trading volumes. People are, going to spend time with family. There is no much market activities as compared to other months. So I don't know what this month is going to be like, since we're experiencing a new dimension in these markets generally. So I'm just hoping that we just see a little bit of alts movement, solid alts movement, or we might just shift this whole thing to maybe January, February next year. So yeah, let's see how this month plays out.
Well, I agree. I strongly believe that GMGM to everyone joining, by the way, GMGM, it's amazing looking at the markets with you guys. Please feel free to share the link, invite anyone you want to invite, drop your questions, very important, drop your questions. Yeah, so I feel December we would see some good sideways range before we see a proper breakout. But I expect January to be bullish. Like I'm 95% expecting January to be bullish, because January marks 1 year of Donald Trump in office. January, so I would expect most of the markets, not just crypto, most of the market, both stocks, S&P. I expect most of those things to be bullish, because he would want to have some things to brag with. You get, during that whole 1 year in office, that he'll be giving like a speech, most likely. You'll need to have some things to brag about, and crypto has to be one of those major things, because crypto was one of the major things he was pushing and talking about during his campaign, and he has always openly advocated for the growth of crypto, making America the crypto capital, all this kind of stuff. So the easiest way to back up what he's saying is to make sure it's showing on the market. The market just has to reflect that positivity one way or the other. He has to find a way to make that happen. Yeah, so let's briefly look at the charts, share the screen. Let me share my screen. Let's look at crypto bubble, after which we'll look at one of the projects that we shared to the community. I think that was 2 weeks ago or a week ago, that we urged people to actually accumulate urge them to accumulate. We'll look at that and some other projects. Yeah, so looking at crypto bubble, let me switch to this preferably. Okay, come in. I'm trying to pick the best layout I should use for this. Is this better? Please let me know. Is this better? From your end, is this better, this layout? I need to pick the best layout. Which one is preferable?
The other one, this one is preferable because you can always move around the bubbles.
All right, no problem then. So let's work with this. All right, so I'm looking at crypto bubble. We can see the coin that pumped the most, meme coin, Peeping. I didn't participate in this, so we can see folks is bouncing back, Dexy, Fatcoin. I told you guys that I'm swing trading this a lot. Fatcoin, it's good also too for swing trade, also for futures trade. Fatcoin is good, it's kind of like predictable, and it's also very, very volatile. Like it's really, really volatile. So you might want to have a look at it, looking at the chart. Yeah, and the last 1 hour, we can see good bounce, some greens showing that the market is trying to recover. Yeah, we can see that it's very, very, that's when would confirm this. So let's switch to CoinGecko and let's talk about one of the projects that we're very bullish on and we urged people to accumulate. Let's actually talk about it. So it's ARIO, which we spoke about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. We spoke about ARIO. Please, I need to be certain that you can see my screen.
Yeah, sure. See your screen.
Can you see my screen? I need to be certain. All right, thank you. So we spoke about ARIO. Let me just go straight to top gainers. For those that haven't backed it, I will throw some light on this and we'll look at why you're not supposed to sleep on it. So let me just search for it here. Top. It should be on this list of tokens within the past. Okay, this is it. This is it. ARIO. Yeah, this is it. So we spoke about ARIO about a week or two ago, and we stressed on why people should accumulate it. And I think when we're talking about it, was at probably 3M market cap and 5 point something M FDV, probably even below 3M market cap. So right now it's at 4.2 and 8.1 FDV. A few hours ago, I think that was 1 a.m. midnight, it got to about $30 million FDV. Yeah, I think $30 million FDV around 12:30, 1 a.m. And it stayed there for over 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. It stayed at that 30 MFDV. So I'll be explaining why and then what is happening. Now, this is by no means any paid ad or whatever. It's just based on our research and projects we are bullish on and that we're actually investing in. So first, let me share why this ARIO moved aggressively. Let me share that. And we told you guys the platform that it's listed on just CoinGecko. Sorry, not CoinGecko, Gate.io. It's listed on Gate.io. So if you're not buying it on AO Ecosystem, which is one of the places you can buy it, AO Ecosystem, the only place you can buy it is on CoinGecko. That's the only place. Aside here, the only place you can get it is PermaSwap, which is on AO blockchain. For those that are part of our community, you understand what I'm saying. For those that are not, they might not understand. But yeah, you can get it on Gate.io. So let me just briefly share their X page to explain to you why the token was actually pumping yesterday. So basically, they announced that they'll be bringing the token to Base. And we've said this thing before, even to our community. We've made it very clear that most good projects, why you don't see them pumping, it's not because of they are not good projects. It's based on lack of liquidity. Like we've actually said this before. It's based on lack of liquidity. That's why you might tend to not see some very, very good projects pump. I'll get to sharing the screen shortly. Let me just explain a bit. You might tend to not see some good projects pump, not because they are not amazing or great projects or its utility or they are not profitable. They are profitable, they are very good, they have revenue, they have a good roadmap, solid economics, but they are just there because probably they've not started doing publicity yet or there's no liquidity. ARIO is one of those projects. Actually, it's one of those projects. There's very little sell pressure. It's not been properly exposed to the markets and other persons to like start buying it. Ideally, it's a token that should be worth $80 million FTV. Worse, if you look at what they are doing. Now, if you also look at the fact that ARO, which is a major project that ARIO is utilizing its infrastructure. If you look at ARO in this whole market, ARO has been holding up its value so well because we've said it before, ARO is deflationary. That's a different token from ARIO. It's deflationary because now they are kind of like, should I use the word burning more ARO than they are actually emitting more. You get, so it's deflationary right now. That's why you notice that there's very little sell pressure. That's why you notice that it's really dumping, despite the fact that most alts have been dumping. ARO has been holding its range from 3.6 to $4. Like it's just been holding that range for over a month now. It's been holding it, and it's actually a profitable protocol. It's very, very profitable, and it has real-world use case and utility. They are generating revenue. It's good. In summary, it's good. Now, which brings us to ARIO. When we shared ARIO to you guys, we told you guys something that it's best you bag most of these projects on time before they start moving. Once it starts moving, you're most likely getting late. So if you see what these guys they do, ARIO, the first permanent cloud network, the enterprise-ready solution, we've said this before, they have an app on your mobile phone that you can go just like Google Drive and upload files, pictures, videos, whatever, documents, upload it and it will be stored permanently. And you can pay a very tiny amount, cents, for the storage space. And it is stored permanently. You have your private keys to access your account. Just imagine Google Drive or in a decentralized form. They have that. If you go to turbo.ario, it works. You can actually use it. It actually works. And you can see where these guys, where they built on. They built on Airwave. Yeah, so when you connect most of these dots, you begin to see why this project is here. It's an amazing and solid project. Now, onto why it bumped yesterday. One of the reasons why it bumped, because I noticed that done 10% yesterday evening, so I had to rush to start checking why. The first and major news was the fact that they are coming to Base. I'm trying to look for that. They are making the token available on Base. This was also something else I saw listing on L Bank, but that's happening tomorrow, not today. So that should also bring some bump to the ecosystem. And yeah, this was the news. Because I checked yesterday, I needed to know why was it moving. It was up 10, 12%. And this is a project that you rarely see it do those move. It's almost stable, not really going up, not really going down. It's been like that for months. So for me to see a 11 to 15% bump, I had to check yesterday. So I noticed that the token would soon be coming to Base. Now, what does that mean? It means exposure to liquidity, because we know Base has like some good liquidity. It's like when we talk about color, when we say why color hasn't pumped and it's still around 200K, it's because of liquidity. Why EVA pumped to about 3M is because of liquidity, majorly. So same thing with the ARIO. What is going to make it pump? What made it move yesterday to $30 million FDV from 8M when I saw it on gates.io in a space of about 1 hour, 2 hours, it moved to 30 M yesterday. I would explain also what caused that pump and eventually it dumping back to like 9 M this morning. So after I checked and I saw most of this news yesterday, this back in, this base news is not really priced in, by the way. I don't believe this is priced in. It's not priced in. The L Bank, I don't believe this is priced in. It's not. So when I went to Gate and I said, let me buy a few more just to swing for this ARIO. I think that was around 11 p.m. yesterday night. So let me just buy a few more of it, some more of it to like just swing it briefly, even if I had some, just to add to my bag since it's about to move. I noticed something. There was no liquidity. Like there was literally no liquidity on Gate.io. So what do I mean no liquidity? I've explained this stuff before. If you go to the order book, if I was logged into my Gate, I would have showed you guys. If you go to the order book, you find out that in the order book, the buys were like 92% buy. The sell was like 8%. Then when you bring up the full order book spreadsheet to look at it to see if there's deep liquidity, I found out that the total ARIO for sell was not even up to, it was not up to $5,000 for sell. And you couldn't see to buy at 10 M because even my buy order, it was only 50%, I mean 45% of my buy order that was filled, just 45%. The sell orders, you couldn't, even if you cleared the whole order book, 10 M, 11 M, 15 M, 20 M, 25 M or 30 M, you wouldn't be able to get up to $5,000 worth of it. So there were no sell orders. And that is majorly because most people had their ARIO on Gate. That was where most persons had their ARIO. It was on Gate, sorry, on AO blockchain rather. Most people had their ARIO on AO blockchain. They did not have it on Gate. So there was no liquidity. So if you wanted to buy, there were no sellers, simply put. Like there were literally no sellers for people to go and buy it, basically. So what I just did there, since it was at 8 M, I just set like a sell order around 24 M. That's what I just said. I just said like randomly, I just said like a sell order, which that seemed kind of like outrageous. But to my greatest surprise, I woke up this morning and I found that it sold. Like someone came and cleaned up the whole order book, like bought, maybe the person came and placed a market order, most likely, and cleared all of the orders. Now, the crazy thing is sometimes when you see that on the chart, you want to check, did this thing happen based on 5 minutes chart or 1 minute or 2 minutes? But the crazy thing is, it stayed at that above 28 M for over 30 minutes or thereabout, I think. It stayed at that price for over 30 minutes. Before people now started sending ARIO from AO blockchain to Gate and started bringing down the price. So liquidity started coming, like sell orders started coming. People started sending their ARIO from AO blockchain to Gate, and they now started filling those sell orders. That was what now repriced it back to 8 point something. So if you go back now and you check that order book, you find out that it has more liquidity than in the sell side. It has reasonable liquidity, unlike what was there yesterday night. So most times you need to understand what causes this pumps, and maybe that might look like pump and dump. You need to understand those things. It helps you make more informed decision. So most persons can be like, that looks like a pump and dump. It's not a pump and dump, basically. It's just demand and supply. And that doesn't mean that the pump is over. If you really understand what is coming and what is happening, it doesn't look like the pump is over. Look at the total sell volume on Gate. It's not even up to $200,000. Sorry, total traded volume, both buy and sell. It's not even up to $200,000. So imagine when that volume racks up to like 4M, 5M, 6M. Imagine what happens when it gets listed on L Bank and you have fresh buyers coming in. Imagine what happens when it gets listed on Bybit or MXC, because I believe Bybit will list it eventually, because Bybit have already listed AO. So it means that they've already added the blockchain infrastructure, the deposit to Bybit. They've added it, so they can easily add other projects that are built using AO tech stack or AR tech stack. So Bybit can add it. Bybit has AO, they have AR, so they can actually add it. MXC, they can actually add it. And if you're looking for one of the most legit and most undervalued projects currently right now, arguably one of the most undervalued in the market, I will still say it's ARIO. I'll still say it's ARIO. So if you haven't positioned, it's about time you go do your own research. Don't take our word for it. Do your own research and start positioning. I don't think it's on base yet. I don't think so. They made the announcement 30th of November that it's coming to base. I don't think so that it's on base yet. Some other projects have also started pushing, tweeting about ARIO. And I feel another reason why it wasn't mass listed on multiple exchanges when it launched, around second quarter of this year, I think that's when they launched the token, is because of the team wasn't looking to spend on exchange listing. They most likely wanted exchanges to list them on their own, not them paying, just like what Hyperliquid did. And this project, their airdrop was very valuable because they did an airdrop. They did an airdrop, I think it was April this year, thereabout. They did an airdrop, a very valuable airdrop. As at then, the value of the airdrop for people that got little amounts, at least they saw $800. For people that got huge amounts, as at then, they saw $8,000, $12,000. I think the highest was probably $20-something thousand based on the value of the token then, which it launched at above $100 million FTV. That was the value it launched then. And there are people that maxed out on the airdrop allocation. So they made like really good money. I think the max out was 120,000 AR tokens, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And it launched at a very good price. So there are people that made money. There are people that got the airdrop on multiple wallets, because there are people that farmed on multiple wallets. So they got the airdrop on like 3, 4, 5, 6 wallets. So the good thing here, the opportunity here is still a very fresh and undervalued project that has built capacity, traction, and it only gets better from here. And it's always good when you have a project that you can actually see its practical usage. So for those that are watching, you can just go to their Twitter, click on this link, download the app, you can try it out, create your wallet, and you can store some stuffs on your account, like your private wallet. You can upload some things, maybe some documents that you want to be kept private, or videos or pictures or information, any of those things. You can actually store it there. So let me share the screen. Let's look at another project that has potential to take off. Should ARIO get that snowball effect, there's another project that can benefit from that. So I'm just sharing my screen now. Hope you can see my screen. Wow, time. After this, we're going to the charts because of time. All right, so hope you can see my screen. Especially, is my screen visible? I'll answer the question soon, please.
No.
Okay, should be visible now. Yeah, so another project that has what it takes to benefit from AO hype, ARIO hype rather, is AO computer. So this is a project that ARIO was also kind of like built on, leveraging on its tech stack, AO. And if you notice, AO hasn't done anything amazing since it launched. It launched February, March this year at almost $30, and since then it's been going down. Got to as high as $50, and since then it's been going down. Now I believe accumulating AO at this price is fair. I won't advise anyone to go in all aggressive. I wouldn't, because the tech is still relatively new, so there can be better opportunities to buy it at cheaper levels. Very important. This year is extremely important. there can be opportunities to accumulate at cheaper levels, probably $2, or you can get back to 3 point something dollar, or hopefully $1. It's possible for that to happen. But like I said, the tech is relatively still new. They're still building, they're still tweaking, which is very normal that during those early times, it's more of a gamble and you don't want to go in hard because it's very natural for you to see prices make lower lows until the tech gets to the period or the time where other projects begin to like leverage on it and utilize it. So for me, I would say take this with a pinch of salt. You can do your DCA into the whole AO token. You can do that and leverage on if it goes down lower. You can also do that. But for ARIO, that one I know I'm very, very bullish on it. I'm really, really bullish on it. So now based on time, let's go to the chart. Let's see what the chart is saying before we take some questions. Miracle, I don't know if you have some stuff you want to say. Hope you can see my screen, guys. I just shared. I don't know if you have some things you want to say.
No, there's not really much to say. You know, the thing here about, we've talked about the AO ecosystem and the stuff that is being built on AO. Now, we also told people to kind of, if you're buying anything on AO that is not the AO main token, you should exercise some form of patience because you might not expect those things to pump crazy if the AO token itself doesn't make any significant move. The only exception to that is if those tokens want to, say, list in an exchange, or maybe there's a token migration to another chain or something like that, which ARIO right now is tilting towards maybe listing in more exchanges and maybe extending their services to Base, which falls into what we are talking about. So anyone bagging ARIO right now, maybe you've not bagged it before, you should also have at the back of your mind that, okay, yeah, they are listing in more exchanges, they are going to have much more attention, much more people are going to notice their products. The ones are probably going to launch on Base, there'll be more liquidity coming in. But this might not just happen overnight. Yes, it can happen overnight. You can just wake up and there's a huge flooding of liquidity, but that should not be what you're going for, right? You should just have at the back of your mind that this might not just happen overnight, but this money is not money you want to use to pay rent or you want to use to, feed. These are like medium to long-term investments because, to be honest, projects that are products that are being built on chains like AO, Rujira, or even Orai chain. These are like solid projects, right? But like you said, most of these projects are not getting traction solely because of one thing, liquidity. And this liquidity is as a result of what? The chain that they are built on, right? Because if most of those projects are built on, let's say, Solana or Binance Smart Chain, they would receive a lot of liquidity and traction. So we should just, bear that at the back of our minds.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. So let's briefly look at the charts based on time. We've spent about 30 minutes, after which we'll take questions before we round up. I can see the questions. We'll get to the questions. So looking at the charts, let's see what BTC is printing. So yesterday, we were on this trade yesterday. This one here. We were on the trade yesterday. Let me switch to 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so we were on this particular trade yesterday and then we started moving. So if you notice, I said it yesterday here while it was moving. I said that there's a resistance here. There's actually a resistance here. If it's unable to go past this, it's going to reject and come back down. So ideally, like I always tell you guys, manage your trades. It's a very simple thing. Once this is a 1 to 3 trade, by the way. So it had already done 1 to 2. Here was already at 1 to 2. Sorry, 1 to 1. sorry, it was already at 1-to-1. That's, you're already at 100% profit. So it was a simple thing of either you adjust your SL to break even, or you use trading stop loss, which I stated it clearly yesterday that for me on this particular trade, it was a $500 trading stop loss I was using on this particular trade. It's $500. Some persons might use 1K, some might use much more than that. For me, it was just 500. So this trade, I was able to exit from this particular trade. Yes, I exited not at a loss though, just with tiny profits. I exited before it went out and hit this SL. And it went to our next zone towards yesterday evening. It went to, I think that was 5-6, around that 5-6. It went to the next zone. If you look at the 4 hours charts, this is one of the other block. This is another one you get from last 2 weeks, I think. This is another one. So it came off and it bounced here. It bounced on this, and I took this trade, stop loss obviously below it. And this trade actually hit TP. The trade actually hit TP, I think around midnight or so. This trade hit TP. Now, what is the chart showing us basically? There are two scenarios playing out here. Two scenarios. One of it is the chart is the BTC is facing the resistance at the breakout block from here all the way. It's facing the resistance. So someone that wants to trade this, basically, how would the person trade this? If you're going with a short, if you're anticipating a short, how will you trade this? You want to take it from this breakout block with your stop loss above it, and you target the price coming back to this low. Okay, that's how you want to trade it. Now, this is not what I'm trading by the way, but if you're doing this, that's what you want to do. Then if you want to refine your entry, you go down to a lower time frame to pick most likely where you want to get into the trade from, probably around this zone. Yeah, that's what you want to do. It's your stop loss above it, just above this breakout block. That's what you want to do. Now, but for some other person that is anticipating that on the 1 hour chart, it was able to break above this, and we're about to see like a change of character on the 1 hour chart. For that person, now the person will be looking for a long setup. That is what the person will be looking for a long setup. And that long setup, the person will be looking to most likely trade either continuation, waiting for BTC to retrace back to this fair value gap to get back in, or waiting for it to get back to this other block to get back in. But for me right now, what I'm doing is I'm still just waiting to see like a clear direction from BTC. I'm not taking any trade right now. Like, I'm not trading it. I'm just waiting to see like a clear direction. Now, if eventually I take this short, it will be because of I'm seeing like rejection candles here. If I'm seeing like rejection candles here, that's what might make me like take this short. For now, it's not yet clear, unless I just want to gamble it. But for now, it's still not yet very, very clear. Or unless I want to go into lower time frames to basically scalp. Unless that's what I'm trying to do, I just want to scalp it. Then I can go to like a lower time frame to scalp. But right now, it doesn't seem as clear as I would want it for me to take the trade. Even if I wanted to scalp on the 15 minutes, it hasn't met with all of my criteria, so I won't even be taking this trade if I wanted to scalp. And by scalp, I mean like to most likely short it. It hasn't met with all of my criteria looking at my indicators, so I won't still take a short here. Yet, so for me, I can't pick any clear trade here for BTC. So I'll still be observing the chart. But once things become clear, for those that are watching that you might want to take this trade, what you want to see is you want to see some rejections here. You want to see BTC reject once it gets to this level. Once it rejects, then you can now short it. And once you're shorting it, you need to manage that trade just in case it gets back here and there's a brief bounce. Because if you notice at these levels, there were lots of rejection. You can see like buy orders at this level. So there are lots of rejections. You want to keep an eye out for that, basically. Now, when you have very, very clear trades, if you look even at the 4-hour charts, you can see like we had huge rejection candles here. Very, very huge rejection candles. So I don't know if we have questions about this BTC charts. Let me know. Where I see the price getting back to, which if it gets there, I'll trade for a continuation, is getting back to fill this order block here. We have that on the 1-hour chart and we have that also on the 4-hour chart. So if you have questions, please ask. If there are certain charts you want us to look at, you let us know. Let me switch to the questions now so I can cover this. Because this question is based on what we just spoke about. ARIO did a pump and dump yesterday. Yeah, so I already explained that it's not a pump and dump, basically. It's backed by the informations, and it's not priced in yet. Those informations that they dropped, the end priced in yet. They are not. I believe that once those informations are priced in, ARIO should stabilize roughly around 19M, 1920M. Should be able to stabilize around that price. That's what I feel, though. That's what I'm also expecting. But now, if you go to Gate, as I said, and you check out the liquidity, let me just open it on my phone. If you go to Gate and you check to see the liquidity on ARIO for Gate, just briefly. Yeah, if you go and check, you find out that it still has good liquidity, although it's reducing. People are eating up the sell orders. People are eating up the sell orders that they are actually creating. So the sell orders I'm seeing here on Gate for ARIO, it's not even still, it's not up to $5,000, $6,000. It's not up to, all the way from 9M FDV to 45M FDV. Okay, someone just added 500 and something K sell order, but the sell orders I'm seeing here, I don't think it's up to $10,000. I don't think it's not up to $10,000 because you do not have up to 2 million ARIO for sale here. You don't have up to 2 million. The ARIO for sale here, which right now it is 30% of all the tokens in the order book. The ARIO for sale here is roughly 1 point something M. 1 point something M, which at the current value, you'll be talking of maybe around between 10K and 15K. So if someone comes and places a buy order, or if there's a total buy order of $40,000 or 50K, that would easily pump it above $25K, $25 million, by the way, to easily pump the FTV above 25M. All right, any news on why it pumped? Okay, that has been explained already. Volks listed last month around $2 an hour. Yes, Volks did very well. And I think the Avalanche community rallied behind it, and they actually did good stuff. They pumped it really, really well. Really, really well. I didn't make any profits from it because I didn't buy it. I saw it around 4 point something. And most times I don't like to chase pumps. So I said that 4 point something. I'd already done almost 100%. So I just left it. What's the difference between AR and ARIO? So AR is like the raw infrastructure, which you can go and build a product on it. ARIO is like a specific product that was built. You can't go on AR and store your video right now. It will be very, very difficult for you to wrap your head around it. But on ARIO, via their app, you can just go and do that. So ARIO just built like a cloud, decentralized cloud infrastructure on AR. Yet why AR gives you that power to build permanent storage, whatever you want to build, you can build permanent storage on it. ARIO now built like a decentralized cloud storage system on it, where like Google Drive, that's one of the functionalities. You can just go. You can also store and host your full website on the platform. You can buy domain names, link it, connect it to your website, get stuff like that, basically. And it's technically like, should I call it a blockchain or a network? I'm talking about ARIO here, because it also has its own validators. You get that are also confirming transactions and all of those things. It has all of that. So it's like should I call it a network or a blockchain, basically. What's the ticker for what you're talking about on AO? The only tickers here are ARIO, that's the ticker, or AO itself, which is also its ticker. So the question is a bit confusing. Please share update on LFG Dex. So LFG has not yet launched. We're still waiting to hear from the ORI team. The platform is functional, but the token TGE hasn't been done yet. And I'm not surprised, because we said it clearly that these guys are stalling this stuff because of market sentiment. And we haven't seen the markets bounce back. So they obviously will just keep delaying and stalling the whole stuff. Yeah, so Miracle, I don't know if you have any stuff to say, any closing comments before we round up and call it a day. I don't know if you're there. All right, so I don't think Miracle is there. So someone is asking another question. Why don't you chase pumps? So one of the major reasons why I don't chase pumps is because that would be me relinquishing my control, you get, to the market. Because if I chase pumps,
one of the major reasons why I don't chase pumps.
Okay, I was just hearing myself, so I had to stop speaking. So as I was saying, one of the major reasons why I don't chase pumps is that would mean me relinquishing my control.
Can you hear me?
The market. Yeah, I can hear you now. Your voice is breaking kind of slow. Your voice is breaking seriously. Your voice is like, it's really, really breaking. So as I was saying, I think maybe it's my network, because you yourself, you're breaking. Oh, okay. So let me just finish with this guy's question before you give your closing remarks. Yeah, so one of the reasons why I don't chase pump, anybody that has any other question, please drop the questions, because we're rounding up. Why I don't chase pumps is because that would be like me relinquishing my control, it gets, to the market, and that will make me too emotional, and it will mess me up psychologically. So if I chase a pump and I go buy that project, let's say at $4, and next thing starts correcting to $3, I'll be forced to like just dump, or I might just end up being a bag holder. So I prefer getting in at corrections, maybe while it is pumping, it corrects, and I get back in, or I get in eventually and sell it when it gets back to its previous all-time high, or as it continues pumping. Rather than me seeing a project pumping, I just make an emotional decision, a very irrational emotional decision, and I just go and buy it, expecting it to keep going higher. It can work sometimes, no doubt. It can work sometimes, but it's not repeatable. It's not something you can bank on. Yeah, it's too much of a gamble. So personally, that's why I don't do that. Okay, so how do you mean it's not advisable to buy when it starts pumping? No, that's not literally what I am saying. If you notice, like ARIO that I just spoke about now, I gave reasons why I said the pump is not even priced in yet. Like, the news is not priced in. You still don't have buy orders, lots of buy orders. So you can see multiple indicators showing you why you are still really early. If you look at the project, if you joined last week when we were talking about rain, we spoke about rain last week, the project on Arbitrum prediction market. And I said that it had already pumped, so that 8 billion FDV. There's nothing making me to go touch it at that 8 billion MTV. Yes, it's a fantastic project, true, but it's too high. I can't go buying it. What are the odds that this thing would move beyond that? The only thing I see from there is correction. And if you check, actually, you see that it has actually been correcting afterwards. I said the same thing too with Monad. Yeah, the same thing too with Monad. And if you check, it's a similar thing too that has been happening. The only difference is I didn't go to short them. I didn't proceed to go short Bain or short Monad. No, I didn't proceed to do that. So for like ARIO, I've shared like sentiments and reasons why I still strongly believe that the pump isn't even in yet. It's not in at all. It's supposed to move well. L-Bank listing is tomorrow. That might still send it a bit higher. I'm expecting other exchanges to also list it too, moving the price higher. And aside all of these exchanges listing, the protocol is massively undervalued. That's ARI. It's very, very undervalued, like really, really. What about Baby Wiki cards? I think Baby Wiki cards is still a good hold long term. Last I checked was at 45k MGV. I think it's still good. The last time I checked, though, I think that was one last week, so at 45k. So I'm still holding. I'm actually still holding. I've not accumulated more. Yeah, so Miracle, over to you for we call it a day. I don't know if you can hear me. All right, guys. So I think his network is having issues. I think his network is having issues. Let me take this last questions and we round up. So no wonder that's why I have lost money a lot of times. Yeah. One of the things you need to ensure you don't do in the market is FOMO. Even as a futures trader, most times you don't need to FOMO. Once the chart has left you, that started pumping, you don't need to go and jump in to say, oh, let me catch this long. Yes, it might work sometimes. You might make money sometimes, no doubt. But there's a very high chance and tendency that you will lose more times than you would actually make money. And when statistically it doesn't pan out that you'll be in the net positive profit, if you do that thing 10, 20 times, then it's not worth it. You're giving too much, or you're leaving too much of the decision to chance. Yeah, so it's not really worth it most times. So that's where we talk about emotions, because you trying not to FOMO is also emotional. You're trying to get a grip of your emotions, not to like jump in and just buy and all of those things. And so it's really, really important for you to ensure you don't FOMO. If maybe the Volks, I saw it and I checked, pumped to 6M, corrected to maybe 3M. I looked at the chart, it's on support, which we've done that with Sura like 2-3 times. It's on support. I check. The market cap is good. I check. They still have like a positive momentum. I look at tokenomics. They're not emitting more tokens. The narrative is still strong. Why not? I can jump in. Yeah, why not? I can actually jump in. All right, guys. So I think that'll be all. I don't know if Miracle is there now, but for my end, that will be all we're taking today. And see you guys tomorrow, same time. We'll do this 10 o'clock. If you're not part of the Telegram, try and join the Telegram. And let me just see if I can get the link to the Telegram. Yeah, so this is the link to the Telegram where we share some good stuff. So you can actually join the Telegram community. Thanks, guys, and see you guys same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.